Okay, so this video is going to be explaining why washing your hands is so important. I know we tried to teach everybody as much as we could, washing your hands, wash with soap, water for at least 20 seconds. There is a reason for that. Hand sanitizer is good if you can't wash your hands, but it's not as good as washing your hands. The reason for that is what soap does is if you have the virus on your hands, if you have the little tiny virus germs on your hands, the soap actually disrupts the fatty layer around each of those little cells and it loosens them up so that you can wash them off. If you were to just wash your hands with water, you may wash some of them off, but they're fatty, so they'll stick to your hands. So the soap will actually interact with those little cells. It disrupts the fatty layer around the cells so that it can penetrate, kill some of them, and the ones that it doesn't kill, those suds, the bubbles, they actually will wash them off of your hands. Kind of in the same way that we use dish soap to wash grease off of pans and pots and things like that. Without the dish soap, the grease is just going to stay behind. So it's important that you scrub as well, because the longer you scrub, the more of those germs you're disrupting, the more of them that you're going to be able to wash down the drain. I like foaming soap, and what I use is Dollar Tree little foaming pumps. I bought a few of them a while back for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I refill them. Mainly I make my own. If I can find foaming hand soap refill, I buy that. Other than that, I just buy cheap hand soap, and I fill, I'd say about that much with regular hand soap, and the rest I fill with water. You shake it up and it works the same way. It will come out basically like any other foaming hand soap that you would just buy like it is. Alcohol, great for killing the bugs. However, I did read some things about 91% alcohol because I had always used 91% alcohol and then just diluted it down myself. One of the reasons they say that the higher percentage alcohols don't work as well is because the higher the level of alcohol, the faster it evaporates, and it doesn't give the alcohol time to actually interact with that germ as quickly. So it evaporates off your hands without being able to get into that cell and kill it. So if you can find alcohol right now, anything higher than 60% alcohol, any kind of cheap alcohol you can find somewhere is going to be good for that. You just want to make sure that it's at least 60%. I think it's 60 or 62%, I forget. The World Health Organization put recipes out for making your own hand sanitizer, things like that. The problem is that a lot of the hand sanitizers being made, a lot of them being sold right now online, are not 60% alcohol, or they don't contain alcohol at all, which might be good for killing other germs, but when we're talking about the COVID-19, you need real alcohol to kill that stuff, real hand sanitizer. I wouldn't bother paying $30 for a little thing of hand sanitizer because it's supposed to be used when you're not able to wash your hands. So if you're out in public somewhere and you touch something and you're not able to get to a sink to wash your hands with soap and water, you can use that and it can help a little bit. However, the best thing you can do is to wash your hands. So if you go out, you touch something, you think it might be infected, if you have hand sanitizer, use it. If you don't, avoid touching your face, avoid touching other items if you can, until you can get to a sink and wash really good with soap and water. I'd say for at least 30 seconds, honestly. I mean, they say wash your hands for 20 seconds at least, but the longer you wash, the better you wash, front, back, in between. Girls, if you have fingernails, Dollar Tree, this is one of the greatest things ever to get underneath of your fingernails. Nails are not great when you're trying to avoid picking up viruses and things because they harbor bacteria like crazy. I'm very anal about keeping my nails clean, but as a nurse, I wasn't always able to have nails when I was doing wound care, things like that, because they harbor so much bacteria. It makes you cringe when you realize what is carried underneath of your fingernails. So now that I'm not dealing with people's wounds and open sores and things, I can have fingernails, but I'm still pretty OCD about keeping them clean all the time. I do like to keep a clear or something like colored so that I can see when they're visibly dirty and keep them really clean. A lot of bacteria though. Another item, a lot of bacteria, cell phones. Filthy, filthy, dirty cell phones. And the iPad that I'm using here. I wipe them down constantly. Clorox wipes are good. I like alcohol spray though. One more item from the Dollar Tree that I got. I filled with alcohol. Before I found this bottle of 70% alcohol, which actually a girlfriend of mine found for me, I was using my 90% alcohol, and I would dilute it down. I'd do like this much 90% alcohol, and then fill the rest up with some water to dilute it down a little bit. And then I just spray my phone, my iPad, wipe them up. You know, I let it sit a little longer than that usually. Wipe it up. If you have little speakers or something, just be careful around there. Maybe just spray on a napkin or something and wipe the little opening areas so you don't get alcohol inside your phone. But I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I have never had it affect my phone or my tablet in any way negatively. So you can use this alcohol spray bottle even if you're out in public, don't have hand sanitizer. If I touch an item, I'm going to spray my hands, and I'm going to rub, rub, rub. Make sure you keep rubbing for quite a while, because you want to make sure that you're covering your hands as if you would with soap and water. Very important that you cover your hands, especially when washing your hands. Washing with soap and water, that's great, but if I don't get my wrists and then I check my watch and then scratch my face, I'm going to infect myself. I will do a couple more videos. I have found some items online. I will just mention right now that I did find these cheap little, they're food service gloves, but they're great for going out pumping gas, things like that. They're not going to offer the protection that regular medical grade gloves would. However, it's good for what I need. It's offering me enough protection to where I can get home and wash my hands, or get into a store and wash my hands. So these were at, no, not Harbor Freight, Ace Hardware had these. And they are still getting different kinds of gloves in, so you can get vinyl gloves, you can get some of the nitrile gloves, but you got to get there on a certain day of the week to get those. Alcohol, if anybody hears of where to find alcohol, let me know, because I still just cannot find it. We got lucky. My girlfriend found 3 bottles of 70% alcohol at Weiss out in Kutztown and gave me one of them, so we're really, really blessed for that. And I will do more videos later. Thanks.